Hey everyone, Mike on Monday coming to you. We're out looking in the fields here, what's happening with the wheat and the rye stands, etc. The challenge that you're faced with is a lot of fields went in late, or even if they didn't go in late, they went through a lot of stress through that October time frame with a lot of rain, no sunshine. So it looks like you planted everything basically in November. So we're out assessing some stands. As you can see, the stand behind me is pretty variable, which is always the challenge with these things. We're looking to try and get a minimum, if you've got 6-inch rows, a minimum of 11 plants per foot of row. If you're in 7.5-inch rows, you want to be about 14 plants per foot of row. Again, we didn't get a lot of things planted in a way that was going to allow the wheat and the rye to stool out or to tiller. I did a little digging here. Yes, the ground is soft and muddy, but as you can see, for the most part, we have single stalks. We do have a third one here that did start to put out a tiller. That's what we're looking for to try and get this stand to thicken up as we look to maximize our yield out here. So if you're in this condition where you've got a lack of nutrients and not much tillering, now is the time to get that first 55, 60 units of nitrogen on. And if you didn't do any fall fertilizer, again, you may want to add some phosphorus, some potassium, some sulfur, get some balance into this nutrition program, because a lot of the nutrition that might be in your soil is a little tied up in the cold and the wet at the moment. And we need to try and stimulate this plant to put out more tillers to get it to thicken up, that we have a reasonable stand, that we can get decent grain yields as well as that straw yield. So I'd recommend that you'd look at getting some nitrogen on here as soon as possible. Again, the balanced nutrition, when I say nitrogen, stabilize that nitrogen as well. You know, something like a Super U is a great product to put on in these conditions, because we got a long ways to go in keeping that nitrogen in place and getting it into that crop. We've got a lot of weather to manage through. So if the stand responds the way we hope it to, by getting more tillers to get it to thicken up some, we probably don't have, at that 50 to 60 units of N, we probably don't have enough nitrogen to push it to its economic thresholds of good yield. That a second shot of nitrogen closer to joining stage would be considered at that point. But this is a management scheme, because we've got stands that are weak. Can we get them to stay as wheat? And the answer is, well, we have to stimulate it now, put on some to get it stimulated, to try and get the tillering process to go. And then you can assess that stand. Did it work? Did you get it to respond to it or not? If not, then I guess you're done investing in that crop, at least from a nutrient standpoint. If you keep it, you still got to probably take the weeds out of it. It's going to be thin, but get the weeds out. If it doesn't meet your expectations, then you're rotating into the next crop, and that's where the product like Super U is still, whatever didn't go into the plant is still hanging around, and that you can use towards your next crop. So it gives you the opportunity to manage that plant, that field to the utmost, and it gives you opportunity to manage the capital that you're investing in this crop. So with that, it's a cold start this morning, but it looks like tomorrow morning's got another chance of some cold. Take advantage of that if you've got some wheat or rye that's a little on the thin side and needs a little energizing, and that's where that balanced nutrition will come. With that, enjoy the sunshine. Spring is on the way. Again, if you've got some seed ordered with us, let us know if you got room. We'd like to start moving that out, because it looks like spring will be busy as always. Have a great Monday. We'll see you next week.